looked away for years, not from the world, from myself. Kept the mirror facing outward, everything examined but the shelf. I built elaborate attention for the lives and needs of everyone around, and called it generosity and caring, while the quieter avoidance went unfound. The looking away had a particular texture, a practiced art of being elsewhere present. Every conversation a deflection, every crowded room a kind of pleasant. What I was avoiding wasn't ugly, it was simply asking to be seen. And the seen part was the one I had intended, the acre I had left between. Until the groove asked me to stop performing and simply notice what was in the room. Not the room outside, the room inside, the one I'd been redecorating to avoid. I looked away and called it something nobler. Looked away, but the low and held it closer. Round and round the groove kept what I wasn't seeing. Everything was waiting. Looked away, looked away, looked away, looked away, looked away, looked away. And what I turned from was the only thing that needed looking at. The blind spot is in darkness. It's the place I stop looking. The blind spot isn't hidden. I simply chose the other view. Every driver knows the principle, a zone the mirror cannot reach. But my blind spot wasn't behind me. It was precisely what the mirror could have taught. The blind spot was the pattern I repeated, while convinced it only happened once. The contradiction dressed as character, the wound I kept beneath the front. The blind spot is the thing I know about, but haven't named aloud. The blind spot is the frequency I carry, that the groove plays back too loud. What everyone around me learned to navigate, I hadn't seen myself. The blind spot, the blind spot lives in the familiar. The blind spot The people closest to me had a language for something that I couldn't find a word. They'd circle it in kindness and in patience, while I remained convinced it was absurd. The blind spot is the last thing to be noticed by the one who carries it the most. What everyone adjacent sees so clearly remains to its host the most elaborate ghost. The blind spot is in darkness. It's the familiar angle I forgot to question. What I avoided wasn't frightening. It was just uncomfortable. The difference between the two is the entire education. I avoided the particular silence after conflict, when the outcome had been settled but not cleared. The unresolved residue of every argument that lived in the room long after both had disappeared. I avoided the question that the mirror posed at certain angles and certain kinds of light, not because the answer would destroy me, but because it asked for something more than right. What I avoided had a schedule. It showed up in the gaps between the busy, when the noise I'd arranged to fill the hours fell quiet and the room became less fizzy. The avoided thing is patient and consistent. It doesn't threaten, it simply waits, and waits inside the same address forever, until you stop and finally open the gates. What I avoided, what I avoided, still waiting. What I avoided, what I avoided, still waiting. Portrait of myself that didn't last. What I avoided was asking to be seen. What I avoided was the space between. Round and round the groove held what I circled. Everything was patient. What I avoided. What I avoided. What I avoided. The first honest look took longer to prepare for than the look in itself required. I rehearsed the seeing before the seeing happened, and arrived already partially retired. What I found wasn't the catastrophe I built in the architecture of the dread. It was something smaller and more manageable, and something I had clearly always fed. The first honest look has a quality of morning, a clarity that softens as the day proceeds. The early light showed everything with equal weight, no drama and no mercy and no need. I looked and found a person doing their best with the tools and the terrain they'd been assigned. What I'd avoided seeing wasn't failure, it was just the architecture of a mind. First honest look. First honest look. First honest look. First honest look. And nothing broke. First honest look. More than I had hoped. What the dread had built around the sea was far larger than the sea. First honest look. First honest look. Nothing broke. The first honest look was the hardest door. Was the hardest door. And on the other side was just myself, waiting quietly. Without judgment, just the seeing. Without judgment, just the being seen. The judgment was the second thing that happened. The seeing came before the verdict did. I learned to separate the observation from the sentence that the inner critic did. Without judgment is not without discernment. It's the pause between the noticing and the name, the space where what is seen can simply exist before the prosecution makes its claim. Without judgment, the seeing becomes kinder. Without judgment, the truth becomes clearer. What I thought required a verdict only needed to be held. Without judgment, in the open field. prosecutor living in the watching, who filed a charge before the evidence arrived. Without judgment meant dismissing that appointment and learning how the witness had survived. The groove observed itself without the verdict, just the frequency returning to the ear. Without judgment is the oldest kind of listening, and the listening is how the whole thing clears. Without judgment. Just the seeing, everything observed can finally breathe. The uncomfortable truth doesn't announce itself with drama. It arrives in ordinary light and sits beside you quietly until you're ready. The uncomfortable truth about my parents was not that they were alien or strange. They were recognizable and familiar, and that was the most disorienting range. I had expected something foreign in the scene, a revelation clearly labeled new. What arrived instead was the recurring, the thing I'd somehow always vaguely knew. The uncomfortable truth about the grooves I run is that I chose them from a menu I compiled, each channel worn by repetition and by preference, each habit at some point deliberately filed. The discomfort wasn't in the information, but in the authorship it placed on me. What I'd attributed to circumstance and accident was hardly something I had chosen to be. So I sat beside the uncomfortable truth and let it be exactly what it was. Not a verdict and not a condemnation, just an honest inventory of the cause. The uncomfortable truth is also the beginning. The uncomfortable truth is where the real is winning. Round and round the groove holds the honest seeing. Nothing ends here. The uncomfortable truth. Nothing ends here. Nothing ends here. Sat beside me quietly and I finally let it stay. My instinct when the seeing got uncomfortable was to manufacture an exit with dignity, a reason to be elsewhere that sounded reasonable, a graceful way of choosing not to see. I had perfected the strategic departure, the art of leaving just before the turn. And every time I left, I told myself I'd return when the conditions were less stern. But the conditions never softened on their own. The discomfort didn't earn its resolution by my stepping out and stepping back in easier. The staying was the only real solution, but the seeing asked was not for comfort. It asked for presence through the difficult part, staying to cement overriding the departure, and trusting what was on the other side of hard. And one day I stayed past the difficult and found what lived beyond it was exactly what believing had been trying to avoid, and exactly what I needed to move forward. Staying to see is the discipline of witness, staying to see through the difficult thickness. Round and round the groove rewards the staying. Everything opens up, staying to see. Was the hardest practice, and the only one that showed me what was real. All the way through, not just the surface, all the way through to where the real lies. Partial look is still a form of hiding. The The eye that stops before the difficult claims the credit of the seeing without earning, the understanding that requires the full. All the way through means past the comfortable layer, past the story that already has a name, into the territory without the narrative, where everything looks similar and the same. All the way through the flattering version, all the way through the comfortable curtain. What lives beyond the portrait I had painted is the only self worth knowing. All the way through means staying in the heart. All the way through means dropping every guard, everything the partial seeing missed lives in here. All the way through, all the way through, all the way through, all the way through. All the way through, all the way, see, all the way, see. The groove doesn't stop at the pleasant frequency, it descends through every register and range. All the way through is how the music teaches that the depth requires the whole exchange. What I found at the end of the full seeing was not the ruin I had feared would wait. It was a person I could finally speak to, who had been standing at a long, closed gate. All the way through, to the undefended, everything I found there was worth the seeing. What was always there wasn't buried. It was in plain view behind a kind of haze. The haze was made of habit and assumption, the residue of decades of a gaze, directed outward and away from center, toward the surfaces that felt more safe. What was always there was simply waiting for the looking to return to its own face. What was always there included the capacity that I'd been crediting to circumstance and luck. The resilience I thought arrived from outside was the thing I'd always had but never struck. What was always there was also the acceptance that I'd been seeking from the world around. The approval I had spent a lifetime chasing was available in what I finally found. What was always there? What was always there? Already mine. What was always there? Always there. Was never far. What was always there? Was never a scar. Ever a scar. Everything I searched for in the distance was present all along. What was always there? What was always there? Never far. What was always there? What was always there was waiting for the witness, not the world to provide. First time I said it to myself and meant it without reservation. I see you, not the version for the world, but the one behind the presentation. It wasn't easy and it wasn't instant. The eyes had been averted for so long that turning them inward felt like learning a language I had known but gotten wrong. But gotten wrong. I see you in the contradictions, in the gap between the values and the act. I see you in the places you keep circling, and in the ones you've never quite unpacked. I see you in the fear beneath the capable, in the tenderness you offer everyone but you. I see you in the ancient and recurring, and in the version that is finally coming through. When I said it, something in the chest released a thing it had been holding since before I had a name for it. I see you, and you don't have to hide from this. I'm staying too. I see you round and round. witness doesn't judge. The witness doesn't fix. The witness simply sees, and in the seeing, something shifts. To become the witness of your own interior is the quietest revolution available. No manifesto and no public declaration, just the seeing turned reliably inward. The witness carries no agenda for the outcome, holds no preference for the shape of what is found. The witness is the part of me that watches without the need to alter what surrounds. I found the witness voice behind the louder ones, behind the critic and the advocate in fear. It spoke in fewer words and lower registers, and everything it said was somehow clear. The witness doesn't ask for resolution, it offers something more sustainable instead. The quality of accurate attention, a presence that receives without the dread. So I practice being witness to myself in the daily unremarkable and small. The witness is the most important practice, and the practice is available to all. The witness simply sees and holds. The witness, what the seeing unfolds. Round and round the groove sustains the watching, everything is seen. The witness, the witness, the witness, everything is seen. Fix or flee. The witness simply stays, and in the staying, everything is free. Accepted, not because I earned it. Accepted as the starting point. The acceptance wasn't the reward for the improving. It was the ground on which the improving stood. I had inverted the entire architecture, believing I had to deserve what was already good. Not the same as finished or approved by every measure on the shelf. Accepted means the witness witness saw the complete picture and chose to stay regardless with itself. Accepted, every part included. Accepted, nothing is excluded. What the scene found was not a deficit, but a person worth the knowing. Accepted, accepted, doesn't mean unchanged. Accepted means the view has been arranged, everything observed and held with equal weight. This is how the real begins. Accepted. Acceptance came not as a grand arrival, but as a quiet settling of the chest. A frequency that had been slightly off the center, finally finding where it resonated best. Accepted is the thing I've been withholding while demanding it from every other source. The groove was playing it throughout the searching, and I had been the only one, of course. Accepted, accepted as the starting point, not the finish. The ground beneath everything that followed. The whole of it includes the parts I'd curated out, the inconvenient and the inconsistent and the small. The whole of it means nothing gets redacted before the witness takes account of all. I had been presenting an edited version, a highlights reel of the more flattering frames. The whole of it required a different standard, one that didn't know the cropping or the names. The whole of it surprised me with its texture. The things I'd hidden added depth, not shame. What I had been protecting others from was actually the most interesting claim. The whole of it is richer than the version that got through the editorial review. The whole of it includes the failed attempts, and the failed attempts are part of what is true. The whole of it is more than I had shown. The whole of it is finally my own. What the selective seeing had been missing was the richest part, the whole of it. All of it. All of it. The whole of it is the only version. What the witness, what the stay, what the seeing all the way through. Still watching, not because the work is finished, but because the watching is the work itself, ongoing and without an end date. The witness isn't something you complete and file away beneath the dun. It is a practice you return to every morning and every evening when the day is run. Still watching means the blind spots are still possible, that comfort is not the same as clear. Still watching means the work of honest seeing is the lifelong kind of keeping faith with here. Some days the watching is more natural, and some days it requires deliberate return. Still watching means accepting both the easy and the days when it feels hard to earn. The groove doesn't play the same way every evening. Different registers emerge at different times. Still watching means I show up to the practice, regardless of the comfort or the signs. Still watching. Still watching. Still watching. So I offer this as testimony, not a rival, but a continuing account. Still watching is not failure at the finishing. Still watching is the practice that can mount. Still watching, still learning how to see. Still watching, still becoming free. Round and round the groove sustains the practice. Everything continues. Still watching. 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 Without the need to finish, without the pressure of the perfectly seen, still watching is enough. To be a witness to yourself is the oldest kind of homecoming. Not the drama of the grand return, but the quiet recognition of arriving. I looked away for years before I looked, and when I finally turned the mirror inward, the face that greeted me was not a stranger, though I had been treating it as unmirrored. What the witness found across the whole journey was not the catastrophe the dread had built. A person doing their best with what was given, with the texture of the living and the silt. The blind spots and the uncomfortable truths, the whole of it, including what I'd hidden, were all the evidence of having lived, and all of it entirely was unforbidden. And now I understand, the looking was the gift, not the finding of the perfect, but the turning of the face toward its own reflection, with the willingness to stay. That is the witness, that is the grace. Witness to the whole and not the part. Witness, witness to the full and open heart. Around and round the groove holds the honest scene. Everything belongs here. Witness, 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 witness. So I offer witness now to every version of myself that still believes in hiding. The seeing is the practice, and the practice is the only thing worth quietly providing.